They say Mars is the next home for humans. But here's the truth. If you were dropped on Mars right now, without any help, you wouldn't even last 30 seconds. That's right, just half a minute, and you'd be done. So the real question is, could anyone actually survive 24 hours on Mars? Let's find out.
This isn't just a fun question, it's a survival test. Mars is one of the harshest places we know of, and yet it's the planet people dream about living on one day. But here's the problem. Mars is basically designed to kill us. The air, the cold, the storms, the radiation, everything is against us. So today, we're going to break it down in simple terms and figure out, if you had to spend just one single day on Mars, could you make it out alive? All right, let's set the stage. Imagine you land on Mars. No fancy NASA base, no Elon Musk starship filled with gadgets. Just you, a spacesuit, and a little bit of gear. From the second you step onto that red surface, the clock starts ticking. You've got 24 hours to stay alive. No help, no backup. Just survival. Sounds easy? It's not. Here's why. The air on Mars is 95% carbon dioxide. You can't breathe it. The temperature can drop to minus 100 degrees at night. Dust storms can block out the sun for weeks. And the radiation from space? It's like standing under an X-ray machine without a shield. So, yeah, not exactly a comfy Airbnb. Breathing on Mars. First thing, oxygen. Mars doesn't have it. If you step out without a spacesuit, your lungs won't even know it hit them. You'd be gasping, but instead of oxygen, you'd just pull in carbon dioxide, which suffocates you. Within 30 seconds, you'd pass out. 2 minutes, you're gone. So, for 24 hours, your spacesuit is your lifeline. Imagine carrying your own personal oxygen tank everywhere. You can't take it off, not even for a second. Even eating becomes tricky because you'd need a sealed environment. Forget about grabbing a snack under the Martian sky. It's all got to be done inside your suit or a pressurized shelter. Now, oxygen runs out, so the real question becomes, how much can you carry? NASA suits carry around 8 hours of oxygen. For 24 hours, you'd need at least 3 refills. Without a base or backup tanks, you're basically toast.
The temperature problem. Okay, so let's say, somehow, you've got your oxygen sorted. Next problem? The cold. Mars is freezing. On a warm day, it's about minus 20 degrees Celsius. At night, it can drop below minus 100. That's colder than Antarctica. Your spacesuit is heated, sure, but imagine wearing that thing for 24 hours straight. No breaks, no cozy bed, no blanket. Just a bulky, pressurized suit that's heavy and uncomfortable. Even NASA astronauts on the moon take breaks inside a warm lander. On Mars, you'd have none of that. So yeah, you could technically survive, but you'd be miserable, shivering, and completely drained. The food and water issue. Now comes the fun part. Food and water. You can't just open your backpack and snack freely. Eating inside a spacesuit is nearly impossible. Astronauts usually use freeze-dried meals and water packs they can sip through a straw inside the helmet. But imagine doing that for 24 hours. Tiny sips of lukewarm water, chewing on dry, bland food inside a cramped suit. No burgers, no pizza, no hot tea, just astronaut food. Could you make it? Probably. Would you hate every second? Absolutely. Dust storms. If you've seen the Martian movie, you know about the giant dust storms. On Mars, these storms are no joke. They can cover the entire planet and last for weeks. If one hit during your 24 hours, the sunlight would vanish, the temperature would drop, and your visibility would go to 0. Now, the good news, Mars storms aren't as strong as Earth hurricanes because the air is so thin. You won't get blown away. But the bad news is that dust clogs everything. Your suit, your gear, your oxygen filter. Imagine trying to breathe while your only air supply is getting filled with red powder. Not fun. Gravity and movement. Mars has only about 1/3 of Earth's gravity. Sounds fun, right? You could jump 3 times higher, carry heavy stuff easily, and bounce around like a superhero. But in reality, it's not that simple. Walking becomes clumsy, balance is tricky, and inside a spacesuit, you'd look more like a penguin than Superman.
So, moving around to collect water, fix gear, or find shelter? Yeah, that becomes way harder. And the more energy you burn, the faster you use up your oxygen. Radiation exposure now. Here's the big killer nobody talks about. On Earth, we've got a magnetic field and atmosphere that blocks most of the sun's deadly radiation. Mars doesn't. It's like standing outside with no sunscreen, but instead of getting a tan, your cells get bombarded with cosmic rays. In 24 hours, it's not enough to kill you instantly, but over time, it would damage your DNA and increase your cancer risk. That's why any real Mars mission needs thick shelters, not just suits. Mental breakdown. We've covered the physical stuff, but let's be real. 24 hours in that kind of stress would crush most people mentally. You're stuck in a heavy suit, breathing through a tube, freezing cold, eating boring food, totally alone, with death literally one mistake away. Imagine hearing your oxygen alarm beep, or feeling your visor fog up, or realizing you only have 2 hours of power left in your heater. The panic alone could make someone rip off their helmet. So yeah, the biggest fight on Mars isn't just against the planet, it's against your own mind. So, could you survive? With NASA-grade gear, oxygen tanks, and a heated suit? Yes, you might last 24 hours, but it wouldn't be fun. It wouldn't be epic. It would be a miserable, painful, terrifying test of human endurance. One broken seal, one empty oxygen tank, or one bad fall, and you're done. The truth is, Mars isn't ready for us yet, and we're not ready for it. So here's the final answer. Surviving 24 hours on Mars is possible, but only barely and only with perfect gear and zero mistakes. The planet doesn't want us there. It's not like camping. It's not even like surviving in Antarctica. It's like fighting an invisible enemy that never sleeps. Subscribe if you dare to try this challenge.